from Moolah
Yep,
before she
she
held it
was.
for 375,000 days or whatever her record ended up being.
Yeah, the other girl who took it away from Moolah was who
Rockin' Roddy.
Wendy Richter.
Yep. Who was in the similar stable, but like, weren't she and Sherry tag team partners for a while under Moolah's band of
Yeah,
ladies?
I think you're right. Way back, yeah, it was way
Yeah,
back.
Like in the
yeah, because
AWA days.
Moolah, when you came up as a women's wrestler, you had to go under Moolah.
There was
Moolah
nobody.
had her own like training facility and everything. Um,
Yep.
and Sherry was actually one of the few people that actually got away from that because she ended up going down to Mid South Wrestling
Mhm.
and ended up meeting Jim Cornette, and that's kind of how she got her start. She didn't want to. She there was many people who tell stories about Moolah, how Moolah mistreated a lot of the women wrestlers. One of them was a wrestler named Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria had many stories of how Moolah would beat the women like to death. She was the female version of Stu Hart. You know, when Stu Hart had the dungeon, she was the female version of Stu Hart.
Let me stretch you.
Did you guys
Yeah,
hear any of
yeah.
that
She
story?
was she was a bad lady, without doubt. What ethic element aside, that was a woman who would whoop some ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think
Didn't
there was. Go ahead.
oh, go ahead, Graham.
I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, there is story that back before she really got able to make it into wrestling bits, Moolah would like, earn money at truck stops and shit fighting guys because she was that tough of a chickadee, and that's kind of how she ended up getting her way into wrestling. She'd just go out there and not I don't know if it was bare knuckle, but street fighting some fellows. And
Yep.
I mean, otherwise too. But yeah, no, she was a her and Mae Young were some tough ladies in their day and became tough ass old ladies too.
Oh yeah, and they were still wrestling. Like I remember Moolah had a match. I think it was in the early 2000s, and I'm sitting there going,
Yeah.
"Man, she was old when I saw her in the 80s, and she was still fighting in her 60s."
Yeah, yeah.
She was old. Any woman
And,
that old that can take Mark Henry, God bless her. You know.
Well, you remember when they both took a power bomb from the Dudley Boys?
Yeah.
Hey, did
Yeah,
you
like
want the pictures you sent me? You didn't
yes.
ask for them. Oh, okay.
hey, Mr. Poe remembers the wrestling situations with Mae Young and Mark Henry and the
I mean, look
hey,
at her. She was gorgeous.
there's Moolah.
And yeah, there's her match against Moolah. I
Oh,
mean,
was that the match she won the title?
that's the one she won the title.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
like their feud was kind of like Dusty and Flair, or maybe not Dusty and Flair, because you know.
Oh,
But like looking at
I would
that, like
compare.
Moolah
I
was
would
old
definitely
then.
compare her to Flair. She was sensational Sherry. If they let her wrestle her whole career, she would have been the
Oh yeah,
equivalent to Ric Flair.
yeah.
I was
No,
gonna
she would have been
ask you
without
guys.
doubt the best.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you
But
guys since you watched a lot of those old Dark Side of the Rings. Moolah was she like pimping out some of those girls that were training there too?
She was. She was.
Jesus.
I like. I mean, I know she was. I don't. Given the time and the situation, I don't know.
Well,
I don't
back
know
then.
if getting your
Go
ass
ahead.
whooped, you ain't got no place to live, whatever. She probably conditioned maybe some of these girls for that behavior. But some of
Well,
the ones
back
like
then,
Sherry
besides
didn't want to.
Moolah, there wasn't a lot of marketable women back then besides Moolah.
Oh,
You know,
she
you
was
had
really the
Queen
only
Victoria,
one.
you had Judy Martin. Judy Martin was a badass too,
Yeah.
but you didn't really have the competitiveness that you do today. Like today, they have like 20 something women wrestling, where back then you would have like the same matches all over
Yeah.
and over again. And
Well, and Moolah had her hands in like 5 territories, so that helped.
yes, she had her hands in a lot of territories.
That helped a lot.
You know, but what I was going to say about that
Right.
episode, Sherry went through a hell after she started taking, you know, she started popping pills and doing drugs. You know, she went through like years of hell trying to regain who she was.
She wrestled hard back in those days. I mean, she took some serious bumps, not just in the ring as a performer, but maybe even some more serious ones as a manager. You know, on the outside, bumps from, you know, the ropes to the concrete in so many
Oh
situations.
yeah.
She is still landing like a, you know, someone who knows the business, but you can't, you can only land on the concrete so many times before your hip says, "Hey, what you doing?"
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think in that time it's like very underrated what the women back there went through because I mean obviously the wrestling back then is not nearly as good as it is now women's wrestling, but when they took bumps, man, they took them from some big dudes. And
yes, they
women
did.
today in women's wrestling are not getting power bombed by the Dudleys, you know.
True.
Um,
That's true.
yeah, so it's very different, especially when you look at what's her face taking one Mae Young at such a late age, taking one through a
Yeah,
table.
that one that she took off the
The
stage
Dudley
through the
Boy Bomb.
table, and I was sitting there going, "Oh my God, they did not just do that." I mean, I know it's obviously we all know it's staged, but
Yeah,
that was a 70-something-year-old woman taking a power bomb through a table off a stage.
that's
Uh,
that's gravity, and the problem is gravity's problematic, but the
yeah,
risk and the danger that could possibly go wrong on that situation,
yeah.
not for
I,
me. Well, I mean, yeah, I would have
all I
totally
could
done. I
think
wanted to
about
be a wrestler.
myself. Sorry, go ahead.
I just always said I would have loved to have been a wrestler. You know, that would have been fun.
I was just gonna say, man, she must have had so much trust in Bubba Ray Dudley to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, trust. Yeah, no, that's. I can't even imagine that amount of trust with any person I know at my current age, much less,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Poe and I used to fucking jump around on the trampoline, but there ain't no way I'm letting his ass do a fucking move one, doctor or not, nowadays. No,
And that's
we'll
something.
both end up in the fucking bed in the back.
I guess if you had to get put through a table, I'd rather pick the Dudleys than anybody else, man. They made their bread and butter with tables.
True,
Yeah,
true. Could have been like Sabu or something like that. He would have been broken.
Yeah.
There are worse for sure. There are
Oh, I
worse.
know, man. I sneezed down so like I threw out 2 ribs. You know, I can imagine getting thrown through a
Oh,
table.
yeah. Oh.
and another episode I saw was if you guys remember the wrestler from ECW, New Jack.
Man,
Yeah.
that
I seen
fellow.
that episode and talk about a guy who lived his life the same way he lived as a wrestler.
Oh yeah, there was no blurred line. New Jack was New Jack. He was the gangster.
Yeah.
I,
I have to tell you my story. I told
yeah,
Cyrus this. So I went to ECW. We started traveling around, like locally, like to states that were connected to
the tri
Pennsylvania. So
the tri-state
they came
original
up.
13.
They came up to Massachusetts, and I went to see a live show. And I thought it was kind of cool because the way they entered was the same way we entered, like through the front door. It wasn't like they hid behind the back. So you got to heckle the guys when they walked in. And, you know, we were heckling guys like Tracy Smothers, Rob Van Dam,
Full blood
Little
of the time.
Guido. So I get into the arena, and one of the matches was the return of, oh God, what's his name again? I'm blanking out.
New Jack.
Sorry, folks. I just got out of the hospital. Remember that?
Yeah, New Jack.
New Jack. Yeah. So yeah, and I say the return of New Jack because I don't know if anybody remember the incident with Mass
Master
Transit when he almost killed a wrestler in the ring.
Yeah, that
And
mass transit guy.
he was barred from Massachusetts for 2 years. He couldn't wrestle in any part of Massachusetts for 2 years. So I happened to be at the show that he made his return, and he was fighting Balls Mahoney that day. If you guys remember Balls Mahoney.
So there was no
So-
shortage of gore in that fucking thing.
No, that was a bloodbath. That match was a bloodbath because
What was that? Something about your balls, Mahoney? What's wrong? What's wrong?
He's got the biggest balls of all.
Is there something wrong? I heard Mahoney's and balls. Is there something you have inflation of
they're dragging too low right now.
Hold on, I gotta Google it. I gotta Google it. Hold on.
Is it called elephantitis?
Yeah. Just be careful, okay? Your balls are okay.
They are okay.
Okay. Hey, look, I'm a doctor. I gotta be on top of this. Hey, look, I just lost someone. Okay, they had it was very bad anal fissures. It's insane in Boston. Why didn't you tell me Boston had anal fissure problem? I should have consulted
I'm just gonna call you like Henry Rollins would say. I'm just gonna call you a liar.
I'm not a liar. I'm not. I'm your doctor. I'm your doctor. And where's your mask? I mean, you gotta take care of yourself. Okay. The president is in a bunker right now.
There we go.
Christ.
All
right.
I think perhaps there's a misconception about what you think a Boston cream pie is, Poe.
Wait a minute. I think that's a sexual move. Someone's in the. I gotta go. Someone did a Boston cream pie. They sprained an ankle. I gotta go.
You get the chocolate all over the intestine.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I just heard balls, Mahoney. I was concerned as your doctor.
His big beans are fine.
Okay. All right.
So that night it was Revere, Massachusetts. It's not too far from Boston. So I see New Jack up near the concession stand waiting in line for a beer. So I jump in line, and my line is happened to go in a little bit faster than his. So I get up there first, and I bought New Jack a beer, and he said something to me that no one has ever said to me in my life, and no one probably will ever say again to me. He said, "You're my nigga." But he used the ER
With a hard R.
He used the hard nigga.
He hard on you. He's like, well, you know what? New Jack, thank you.
So, I've never met anyone nigger before, but
and this time, when if New Jack says that, that qualifies a long way down the line.
Yes, and I was actually sad the day he died because I lost my nigga.
I mean, like he was one of the craziest. I mean, he obviously took some inspiration from Abdullah the Butcher, to say the least.
Oh yeah,
but he was one of the craziest sprawling brawlers that I've ever seen in the day. Like I know there's a couple of people that refused to fight him just because they didn't want to die. Like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I don't think ever fought New Jack just because he valued what remaining health he had left. But yeah, no, that was definitely a sad day because he wasn't all that young, he wasn't all that old either. Like he wasn't all broken down like some of the other fellows are. He just living that life like he was living as a wrestler.
Yeah, there's no thing he wouldn't do. He would do any kind of daredevil shit you wanted him to. I would have loved to see him against Sabu in a match.
That would have been.
You know what? I don't think they ever fought. That's like
if they did, it was probably a tag. Because I know Sabu was a tag team with Rob Van Dam for a while, and I know they fought a few times. So it's probably tag team.
Hell, I remember even seeing New Jack tag team with Balls Mahoney. Let's put him back in this situation. Hey, you beat the shit out of me. We're a good tag team. Yes, let's do it.
Be careful! Be careful saying Balls Mahoney. Doctor might pop in again.
Well, he's probably digging into those anal fissures pretty deeply.
No, I'm good. I do recommend, and I'm not your doctor, William, but the soda is not good for you at all. Okay, I'm just.
Oh, that's used motor oil. It's better for my liver.
Motor oil.
I'm just.
Use motor oil. It's synthetic 0W20, so it's low weight, but there's no sodium. It's just 100% alkaline.
Look, this is just a professional with an opinion, sir. That's all it is. I'm a doctor.
I wonder, Grin, is your favorite movie Over the Top?
It's one of them. It's one of them
Oh, sorry.
because that bad mother, that one and Three Kings because like hey, my second favorite pastime. You gotta sip some motor oil. You gotta. If I had a cup of ice, it would look entirely different. Trust
Well, I'm just letting you know.
me. I
I'm
mean,
just giving my
I
medical.
look
As
I
a
look at
graduate from the Phoenix online, actually, I learned just now it wasn't Phoenix. It was a town outside of Phoenix, Arizona, but still credible school, 24-hour doctor school. So I'm just letting you know, as a professional, I'm just giving my opinion on this, and I mean I care about all of you guys, so y'all stay healthy, okay?
You know what? My doctor went to United Greco Community College. I'm pretty sure you should ask him about my
Never heard of it.
motor oil.
Yeah, you know who my last doctor was?
Never heard of it.
My last doctor was Dr. Vinny Bubach. You guys remember him?
Oh my
No
God.
respect. I take no respect.
Hey, you might laugh, but that man's a saint, okay? Don't you? Oh my God, dude! I'm gonna drop you as a patient. No, are your balls still okay?
I'm just Dr. Vinny Bubach.
I'm here. Okay, I gotta. We got another Zootopia victim back here. They're too close in the petting zoo with the goat, so I gotta go.
I thought I heard the lambs. The lambs
Yeah,
back there.
maybe that's why the lambs are silent right now.
Hey, they got their mouth taped shut. The only way you can deal with them.
We sound, oh God, we sound like not pedophile. What do they call that? The pet, what you fucking animal. Yeah, we sound like that.
Bestiality.
Bestiality, that's it.
Which doesn't sound like as raunchy as it should. It sounds like some fucking thing you do in Mortal Kombat. Bestiality.
If you think about it, Silence of the Lambs, the name sounds like a bestiality movie.
Like for real.
It could have been alternative porn. Yeah.
I bet there was probably a
stop screaming yet. See when he says
there's
that.
probably a mock porn out there, the screaming of the lambs.
Yeah.
Or worse, who knows?
Before we get to our main topic, I know William, I know you said you haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop 4, but
I have not.
Cyrus, what did you think about Beverly Hills Cop 4, Cyrus?
Awesome. I thought it even though it's so many years apart, it had kind of the same fun and intensity as part one. So I would say they're very compatible because after part 3, they tried to PG-13 it up, for a little broader audience. Got away from like the raw type of comedy that Eddie Murphy was. Then went right back to that same style in part 4. Freaking loved it.
Well, you know what they did because Eddie Murphy was doing movies like Coming to America back then. He was doing Distinguished Gentleman. So he was still doing comedy, but he was not doing that same raunchy comedy that he was so used to. And I think that's what they try to do with 3. They try to clean up Eddie a little bit.
Even coming off the Harlem Nights. Right?
I mean, it still has funny comedy, part 3, but it seems to hit less than part 1 and 2. Now, William, you've seen 1 and 2,
yeah, and 3. I've seen the first 3, have not seen the new one yet, but I ought to. I do want to see it. I liked part 1 is my favorite. I like part 2 a lot. 3, the best parts of 3 were, Eddie Murphy and the throwbacks to the other movies. Edgar Elizondo was a good character. I didn't mind him as a stand-in. He was kind of funny. But even Eddie Murphy said it recently in an interview that the bad guy in part 3 was just kind of wasn't a good bad guy. It was a shit story and a shit plot. I mean, it was a B-grade James Bond plot, counterfeit money. And,
what's funny is if they wanted just a bad guy, they could have stuck with with John Saxon.
John
Saxon is a terrific actor. But they gave him such a small role in part 3.
Yeah, and maybe that's, I don't know, maybe they couldn't afford him in that particular instance. Maybe it's like, listen, I'll be in your shit movie, but it's going to cost you. Well, we're already paying for Eddie Murphy. Who's that?
But I think all three of us are in agreement with one was the standard bearer, 2 is great, and then 3 is more of like the down low, still funny but not quite up to 80s. So I think we're all in agreement there, and I'm in agreement with Cyrus about Part 4. Part 4 has so much nostalgia. Not just from the characters, but from the songs, from some of the scenes. They kind of replay some of the scenes, like the clean cop car. The officers in the Part 1 are dressed a certain way, and the girls in Part 4 are dressed a certain way when they arrest him. So they try to do so many callbacks that you almost have to have a calculator on hand to count how many callbacks they have.
Yeah,
I don't want
to ruin it for William, but
well, I'm intrigued, and I appreciate you not giving the spoils. So hell yeah, I'll give it a good go. Maybe later tonight once I get home from work. I mean, yeah, no, I'll move it up the list because I got like 17 movies that are still on my list of things that I need.
Yeah, I think it's still playing on
Netflix?
On Netflix right now. So if you have Netflix, it's playing free.
Cool. Yeah, they've got all of them on Netflix.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? If movies that go directly to like a streaming service, do you think that it takes away from like what it could do at the box office?
Yeah, in a way, but I think a lot of people would rather sit home than go pay, $10 for a popcorn, $6 for a soda, and then $12 for a ticket, and that's just for one person. You know what I mean? So I get people want to watch it on streaming, but
well, I think something like this is a good idea to like release on streaming because it is enough of a niche that, and there, who knows how people are going to feel after the last one. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Eddie Murphy's gotten a couple of movies out recently that have been, good. He's actually had a pretty good working relationship with Netflix. The Dolomite movie, he was fucking badass in that, and he was in something else on Netflix. Really good. I mean, I think something like this would be beneficial to release on Netflix. And if it does well, it could offer a limited theater run. But I almost say they would be better set to stream it initially on Netflix and then put it as a home movie release. Put it on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, with all 4 of them in a 4K or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Make money that way versus the theater. I hate to say, but so few theaters are really putting as much effort in. But then again, Sony bought Alamo Drafthouse, so what do I know?
Yeah, I still go to the movies sometimes, but I go in the afternoon matinees. I'm not spending more than $7 per ticket. It's not gonna do it.
Oh no.
But some movies I like seeing on the big screen. Like I think this would have been a great one on the big screen, but if they could, movie theaters are probably better served if these things came out on streaming. Then they, like you said, did a limited theater run where the theaters could get the movies a lot cheaper than getting them on instant release. That way they can lower their ticket prices and draw more people in and make their money on concessions.
No, you're right. What my concern was that with all these movies that are skipping right to streaming services, are we going to have movie theaters much longer?
Yeah, and that is echoing my sentiment before. Not a lot of movie theaters are doing the do. I mean, here in Texas, there are a couple that are still standout. Santikos opens up new theaters, and they seem to be, it's pretty good business. But it also has to be met with a good movie coming out too. And there have been some good ones that people have wanted to go see, but there's also been some shit that people have like, well, I don't know. I don't think Furiosa really got the fair shake that it deserved. That's one that probably would have been better set released on streaming but it wasn't a day and date.
There's a movie theater. It's maybe about an hour and 20 minutes away from me in this other town, and it's not really a big town. But it's not too terribly small. They have a small movie theater. It's got like 3 screens, and what they do is they'll bring in old movies and start showing on those screens, and people flock in. They had Smokey and the Bandit, believe it or not, on there, filled it up. They put the Goonies in there and filled it up.
Yeah, I like that. There's a couple of places around here that do something like that. Mission Movies at the Park. It's an old drive-in that they turned into kind of I'm gonna say a garden, but like a historical landmark. And it's got this big open grass field, and the old screens have been redone, and they show old movies there in the park drive-in style for free. Like this weekend they're having last weekend I had Jurassic Park, and then next weekend I think they're doing
I would love to see I would love to see movie theaters that bring back older movies, and just I would love to see a theater that would just bring back classic movies so that we can see them all on the big screen like one more time.
Rob, I can't see you, Rob. What are you shielding yourself? Is there something going on with you? What's going on, Rob? I can't see your face.
There we go.
Okay.
I have my hand in front of the camera.
Oh, okay. Well, I was concerned.
I'm sitting here staring at
I couldn't see you.
Well, I didn't want to mention it because I didn't know what appendage it was, Rob.
Yeah, Did you send me that picture of your balls? I need.
But why do you want to see them?
Well, no. I mean, I'm your doctor. I'm your doctor. I got to know what's going on. Was that what you were doing? You were sending a picture of your testicles, medical terms.
I'm sending you my bleeding anus.
I got your blood work back, and forgive me if I mispronounce this, but you have Senator Palpatine Gangnam style Lyria.
Do it.
That's how you say it. It's Senator Palpatine Gangnam style Lyria. Logaria? You said
Logaria.
At least I don't have a blue waffle.
Look, I think I'm reading that right, so don't worry about it. I'm the doctor. You are not. Don't laugh at me. I'm the fucking doctor, okay?
Okay.
All right. Send me a picture. I'll see you later.
All right. Well, reports say that Cody Robinson was noticed that he has a blue waffle now. If you don't know what a blue waffle is, people who are listening or not listening, look it up. You'll never unsee it again.
You should have told them not to unsee it. They would have just gone like, okay, we're gonna look it up. No, they can't unsee it.
So to finish my thought, I want to have a theater that comes out that exclusively plays like anniversary movies. So say it's like the 30th anniversary, and none of us were alive or allowed to get back to movies back then. Get to go see like a 19. Here's an example. I got to see Jaws on the big screen last year. And that was freaking amazing. And I got to see the classic The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing.
That was fucking awesome, too.
Yes. One of my favorite horror movies of all time is The Thing.
I've been able to see a couple of really, really good ones on the big screen. When I used to work for Alamo Drafthouse, they would offer, they do specials every here and again where they would bring classic movies out, which, Alamo Drafthouse is making some banging movies. A24 is an actual subsidiary of Alamo Drafthouse. Same thing with
That's funny that you mentioned Alamo Drafthouse. There's one here in Boston, so I go to the one in Boston.
They're still one of my favorite theaters, and A24's got some damn good stuff. But when we were working there, they would bring back movies every and again, and I had the opportunity, as a patron, to pay money and come see a special re-release because they also, Alamo Drafthouse also owns one of the largest film archives next to AFI's film archive
Yeah.
of classic movies in the world. So they have access to the original 3D, uh, you know, red and blue Friday the 13th Part 3. So they had a special screening, and I went to one of those and got to watch it in the old school 3D, and that was just amazing. But also, as an employee, I had the opportunity to see Beastmaster on the damn big screen. Which
Oh,
was
nice.
and because mine won the spin on the wheel, I had the chance to see Pink Floyd's The Wall on the big screen.
Now that would be awesome.
It was
Yeah,
pretty
I'm a
groovy.
big
It was
fan
right
of
up
the
there.
Beastmaster series. I'm a fan of the Conan
Beastmaster's
series.
great.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I apologize. I'm his doctor. Okay, Rob, can you put your chest to the screen? You're talking about exciting movies. I just want to. Let me check this.
Oh my God, he's gone invisible.
Let me check. Okay. All right. You sound good. Okay. Proceed. I'm sorry, guys. I want to check on my patient. Okay. You can hate me.
Have I told you guys I love my doctor? My doctor's
I,
pretty cool.
I've seen this man with a plague mask on, so make sure he's not got a scythe somewhere.
He's better than Dr.
My
Feelgood.
name may be Grimm, but I may not be the Reaper.
Y'all got symptoms? I'll look them up. I'm a doctor, so you can trust me. Okay. So I'm just saying, Rob, you sound good. Okay, just keep it easy.
Know what Gonzo has. What's Gonzo have?
Yeah. I don't know. What are your symptoms? I'll have to WebMD it. I mean, that's part of my training. So
I can drink a bottle of water and miraculously turn it to gas.
Oh, okay. I'll look that up. William Von Grimm. I'll come in later. I mean, I got to look this stuff up. I'm not that smart.
You'll do what later?
I'll look it up.
Oh my God!
So
as long as I don't get a Cleveland steamer, I'm okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I know your symptoms. You're falling apart, but
oh yeah,
I'm not even your doctor. Not nothing.
The cockroaches and the dust don't even want to hold me together anymore.
All right, now let me.
On that note,
I have two curious questions. Oh shit! Today, not today. I have a question or two, a thought to posit.
All right.
Has anybody here seen that trailer for the new Hellboy?
No.
The Hellraiser?
No, Hellboy. Hellboy is a cricket man. Oh, Lordy Lord.
My medical opinion, don't watch it.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty fucking awful. That's all I will say. It's going to be some shit. That's something that you might have to, like, heed your doctor's warning or otherwise, and then, later days we can talk about. But something that I did want to acknowledge that popped into my head, considering the last conversation about Conan. Did you see that they are coming out with a third Conan movie, King Conan?
Yes, I heard.
You think Arnold's going to be up in that business? I'm not happy
about any remakes. I'll tell you that right now. Like, especially the one that they're going to be redoing with Bill Skarsgård, The Crow. I'm not happy about The Crow being remade.
I'm not happy about that. Though I am happy about what looks like might be a damn good movie thanks to Robert Eggers and the new Nosferatu. Bill Skarsgård looks pretty damn good in that. But, yeah, I'm not happy with the Crow remake.
Have to have his name on every remake.
Apparently, he's the new It guy. Thank God he has nothing to do with the fucking new Time Bandits remake. Have you seen that fucking nightmare?
No, they are not remaking Time Bandits, are they?
Oh yeah, Taika Waititi. It's just awful. It's awful. It's awful. They're not even little people.
Doctor, if you're listening, I need some fucking medication right now.
Right fucking now. Make it around.
Yeah.
It is awful, dude. I saw the trailer and it oh god, it's awful. It looks bad. It looks bad.
I'll have to watch it after, but I'll probably throw up after.
You might, dude. You might. It looks bad. It looks bad.
because all of us grew up during that Time Bandits era. Like Time Bandits was like the coolest shit when that came out.
Time Bandits and Ice Pirates. Two polar opposite but fucking amazing movies.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not happy about it, man. I saw that trailer and I almost got more disappointed with it than I did with the fucking Crow remake trailer. Like, honestly, I think I am more disappointed. At least the Crow remake trailer has got lots of blood, guts, and katana.
You know what? I want to get this over with right now. Poe, can you find the trailer for Time Bandits, the remake? I want to get this over with right now because I can't get any sicker than I am right now.
Okay.
For
sure. Cyrus, you have gastroesophageal reflux disease, also known as GERD in layman's terms. So that's what you have.
I've got
and I know I'm suffering from Crypt Keeper syndrome.
Step out of your bed and scream and laugh. I don't give a...
I suffer from the psychological condition.
Tales from my dick.
Yeah, let me.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, hey, let me look that up. I'll find it. It's a Time Bandits remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taco Waititi.
All right, Temple.
Oh, I'm gonna probably be raging after this. Like, you're gonna be like Rob X rated for the rest of the show after this.
I'm sorry, Anna, but you had no idea what was coming. We ain't got. You ain't the cannibal to be worried about.
I'm glad I found out from you than just finding it on the web somewhere.
Yeah. Oh man, I was really disappointed. Like, it was honestly something that just scrolled up in one of my advertisements on YouTube. And I have the YouTube Premium, so it was just a suggested video or whatever, suggested trailer. And I looked at it and I was like, oh God, no.
What about you, Cyrus? Did you grow up with Time Bandits?
I watched it once when I was a kid, but I don't really remember it. Like, it didn't impress me enough that I had a love for it or anything. One of the earliest movies I saw that I really dug was what was the one where the guy played the video game and he got the Alpha Centauri came down and got him and he had to fight to save the universe.
The Last Starfighter.
Last Starfighter. Yeah, that was awesome.
I
remember seeing Ice Pirates. That was pretty funny.
Space herpes.
All right, so you have seen it first at Mahoney's Madhouse. Here is the trailer for the new Time Bandits.
Why can't you be a normal person with normal friends?
Well, I've Scott. You're stuck in the past, Kevin.
You got to stop it with all these Vikings and the ancient geeks.
Freaks.
As well.
Mom, my wardrobe's moving.
Whoa!
Hold on. How is he here?
What's going on?
Your room. It's a time egress.
He's never done that before.
And it allows us to travel throughout the universe. Tell me who you are, or I will kill you. I am Penelope, and I am, in effect, the leader. Fundamentally, though, we are all equal.
Who are you guys?
We're the Time Bandits, a crack team of expert thieves. Nothing is too big for us to steal. Oh, okay. Now that we're close, maybe it is too big to steal.
You have a map that can take us through time. Wow, Musa, some people say you're even richer than Jeff Bezos from Amazon.
Wealthier than the mighty Jeff Bezos of the Amazon. We have no knowledge of who that is.
That map cannot and must not fall into the wrong hands. I shudder to think what would happen.
Bring me that map.
With it,
I could create a universe of pure evil. Stop laughing.
it's evil, therefore it's serious.
Return the map.
What did everyone steal? I got this beautiful vase.
Vase.
Oh,
Vase.
vase?
Vase.
Everyone got a vase?
Yeah.
Thanks you all. For a brief moment in my life, I felt like I was part of the team.
Yes, okay. Let's take him home.
This isn't my house.
Yeah, there's your family over there.
They're not my family.
But they look exactly like you.
This sounds like a family matter, and we should give them space.
Remember the
Fuck
80s?
did I just watch?
Not Time Bandits.
That had no resemblance to Time Bandits. Like, you know, when they remix stuff, sometimes they keep like one or two things that like kind of reminded you of the original.
You know what the only thing?
That.
The only thing that was slightly reminding me of the original is the fucking little people that he had in the fucking Dark Realm. That were
but
the
they didn't
fucking
even.
Time
I don't even
Bandits.
think, refresh my
They're
memory.
the original fellows.
Did they even call themselves Time Bandits in the original? I don't think they even did.
No.
I don't think they did.
No. So like,
I think that was the book. That was the book itself.
And all this fucking modern music and like, well, okay, the B-52 is not really modern, but like, I like the old. They had like a medieval type atmosphere in the original.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that atmosphere. I like the mystique of it. This looks like a fucking like old school Disney movie.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a kid, I'd probably think it was cool, but
And that's what they're aiming for. That's what they're aiming for. Like Time Bandits in the old one, if you look at the trailer for that, comparatively, it looked like it was fun for kids, but then there's also an element of it that looks
the
fucking
original Time
terrifying.
Bandits, even though the original Time Bandits was a sci-fi, it had some horror element into it too. Like that voice scared the shit out of me as a kid.
That I mean, if that guy was fucking good enough to be number 2 in Tron, you know, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but he's a fantastic evil guy. He was in everything.
I remember who you're talking about. But it's like this you're supposed to kind of pay some kind of homage to the original. This looks like a total ripoff. They're just using the name, and that like you guys said, their target audience is like 8 to 12 years old, probably.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, calm down. I got the EKG meter over here. You're going off the charts right now.
Dude, I told you I would. I
Calm-
said if I saw this thing, I was
calm
going to go
down.
medieval.
Let's think of
Think happy thoughts.
think happy thoughts. Get
Think
to
of the
that.
original one. Think of how awesome the original one. Think of the original one and how the child actor was taller than every other fucking actor in the movie.
Doctor, you want me to think of Riley Reid naked right now? Then
There you go. Think of her doing the gluck gluck something, dude. I mean, you need to really dial it back. All right.
Riley Reid. Like, is she an actress?
Yeah, she's a porno actress. She's a porno actress.
Okay.
Alexandra Daddario. That one works as well in most instances.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Thank you.
She's almost a porn actress with the Mayfair Witches.
I don't think I can legally do this, but as a doctor, I think I can kind of like knight you or something, William, to kind of stand in when I can't be here to give medical. Because that's good medical advice. Alexandra Daddario, I mean, she's freaking hot as hell. So, I mean, but don't get your heart rate too up. Now, I mean, we want to bring it down. Think of B. Arthur in a string bikini or something. That'll bring everything.
Think of Roseanne. Roseanne.
Yeah, think of her.
That'll get Roseanne Barr naked. Gone.
I got one better. Think of Kathy Bates' hot tub scene in About Schmidt. Okay, think about that when you get too excited. It'll calm you down. All right.
Think of Kathy Bates doing an S&M scene. There you go.
Whenever I think of that fucking Kathy Bates scene from About Schmidt, it makes me think of the fucking scene from Harry and the Hendersons when that lady is boiling that fucking chicken for whatever reason. Because it's just so similar. So similar. Man, that was an awful. Thanks, Poe. No, I will never get a hard on again. Thank God I had progeny. Oh, but yeah, I'm sorry to. Yeah. Oh, I'll get it for this. I'll get you next time, Poe. If it's the last thing I do.
I love that movie, Harry and the Hendersons too.
Oh man, that was a good one. That was, fucking Industrial Light Magic. Like in what's his name? Damn, my brain is escaping me. The greatest special effects artist in the history of ever. Stan Winston. He did all of the Harry and the Hendersons makeup and the Predator makeup stuff. And yeah, it's a great movie.
Yes.
Bad TV show. Great special effects on the TV show. The bad TV show. John Lithgow. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Oh, John Lithgow's gold.
Still gold.
Yeah. Stay gold, Pony Boy. Stay gold.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's another good movie too. It's going to end up being just a nostalgic walk down everyday lane. Because they shouldn't be doing that shit. I'm sorry to unleash that upon you, but yeah, that's some nightmarish, man. That's some nightmarish.
So anybody feel like having some lamb chops right now?
Yeah.
So let's switch our conversation to our main topic tonight. The 1991 Silence of the Lambs. I did some research on this. It had a budget of $19 million and it grossed, get this, $272 million.
A lot.
Yeah, only 3 movies that year beat it, and that was Terminator 2, which me and Cyrus did a couple weeks ago, Beauty and the Beast, and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Only those 3 movies topped Silence of the Lambs. But Silence of the Lambs is also only the 3rd movie ever to do the clean sweep of Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Adapted Screenplay. It's only the 3rd movie ever to accomplish those 5.
They should have gotten the fucking supporting actor for
Scott Glenn.
Yeah. He should have fucking been on there.
He was nominated. He was nominated.
He really should have gotten it too, because I mean, some people still say that his depiction of that character is better than anyone that's come before and since. Like even Larry Fishburne says that he still goes to that as his reference, because I think that's, in my opinion. I mean, Dennis Farines was good in Manhunter, and Harvey Keitel was damn good in Red Dragon, but man, that was too good. But yes, it swept the shit out of it, and it was one of the first horror movies since The Exorcist. I mean, technically horror movie. It's considered a horror movie, but it was one of the first horror movies since The Exorcist to win an Oscar of any type, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Cyrus, what did you think of the first time you saw Silence of the Lambs?
That was one hell of an impressive movie. I remember going to the movie theater and watching that, and I was in high school, and that was, it was one of those really creepy movies. This was I guess a period of time like horror movies had started to kind of fall off the block. I guess it got stale. Everybody's doing the same horror over and over. And I didn't know if this was, because all those slashers, and I got to see this, and like, I didn't know, like, I was kind of braced for a psychological thriller, and I didn't know if I walked out of a horror film or not. It was, but it was really good. And, how you see a movie and they have a scene in it that's so visceral it sticks with you?
Yeah.
This didn't have any scenes that were visceral, but Hannibal Lecter's acting was visceral. Like that tone that he set for that whole movie, when you walked out of there, you walked out with that clinging to your shirt. It was, I thought it was a great film, man.
Yeah, I mean, this movie from start to finish never lets down. We always talk about these movies that have their high points, low points. This has no low points. No. This is as close to a perfect film but this and that one we did before with Morgan Freeman, Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
This and Shawshank Redemption are probably the closest to perfect films that I've ever seen.
I could
agree with that.
No, yeah, absolutely. And they, it clean sweep as well. And for such a young director, a first timer like Jonathan Demme,
yes,
this was huge. And a little, I don't say little, no, something that I guess is impressive to me, and I think is a testament to the character and a testament to Anthony Hopkins, is Hannibal Lecter has less than 10 minutes of screen time in that entire fucking movie. Like some 7 minutes and something seconds.
Only I was reading some I was reading some like weird fun facts about this, and he won Best Actor. But only one other movie. Yeah, only one other movie had a character that had less screen time that won Best Actor, and that was like 1958 or 51 or something like that. Yeah. And just to tell you how close this movie came to not being the movie that we know today, is that Gene Hackman read the book, bought the rights to the movie for something like I think it was like $500,000, and he split the cost with Orion. So he bought the book, and he planned to edit and direct and write and star as Hannibal Lecter. And then Jodie Foster had the same freaking idea and went to buy the rights because she loved the book, and it was already bought by Hackman. And then I guess when he goes to make the movie, I guess other people, he eventually obviously didn't, but he was trying to write the screenplay. He hadn't completely read the book all the way through. He just had heard about it. And he had loved the story. So he had already had like 50 pages of the script written, and he was only 50 pages into the book. So he had no idea how to write a screenplay. So somebody else had to go in and take all this over, and he got pushed out. And they initially, instead of the guy that got Anthony Hopkins, they approached Sean Connery first to take the role of Hannibal Lecter. That was their first choice.
That would have been interesting.
Well, he read the script, and the reason that they went back to Anthony Hopkins, they read the script, and he said it was absolutely freaking revolting, and he did not want any piece of this.
I don't want a piece of this trash. I won't say hello coloration or anything.
And
so Gene Hackman originally had the script.
Yeah. Yep. And then Jodie Foster was trying to buy it, and she's like, "Well, he already had the rights and couldn't do it."
Guys, this is no disrespect. This is no disrespect to Gene Hackman. I love him as an actor, but I can't see him as Hannibal Lecter.
He's not Hannibal. Only Anthony Hopkins can pull this off. And I was reading some weird stuff about how he developed the character, and I'll get into that in a little bit. I'll bring that up. But he, two weird things that happened with this script, like that. Anthony Hopkins at the time, I don't know if you guys know this, but he was in a very serious long-term relationship with Martha Stewart. And really? Martha Stewart broke off the relationship after the movie because of the movie. Because she said that he did that part so eerily and succinctly that every time she looked at him, she saw a sadistic serial killer and could not even look at him anymore. She broke up with him. Broke off their long-term relationship.
I mean, can you blame her though? I mean,
no,
guys, I've watched this. I've probably watched this movie over 50 times, and I still get creeped out by Anthony Hopkins in this movie.
Without doubt. I myself love all the books. I've read all 4 of the Hannibal trilogies: Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs.
William, that brings me to a good point. Did you watch Manhunter?
Yes. Yes. I like
a lot of people don't know Manhunter was actually the first book on Hannibal Lecter. So
directed by Michael Mann.
It was Red Dragon. That was the first book, and they made the movie Manhunter.
Yep, had Gil Grissom, William Peterson in it from as Will Graham. It had, oh God, I can't.
Brian Cox was in it.
Yep, he was Hannibal Lecter, and Dollar Hyde was shit. Oh, fucking Kane from RoboCop 2 and
Yeah.
Last Action. God, I can't remember that damn dude's name. The same series, but it's fine. It's fine. And Dennis Farines was in it too. It was good. It was good.
I think the pacing was too slow for me.
Yeah, and it focused a little more on like, not to say that the remake and Red Dragon itself, but like I think it focused a little bit more on Will Graham versus what the books. The books have always been a display of the psychopath more than anything else. Even in the book Silence of the Lambs, Starling is the counterpoint to everything else, and it gets little bits of Hannibal Lecter, but like he's barely in those first two books as well. He is more the go-to information source, and really just begins to chill you with the conversation, even from print to page, or from print page to screen. Anthony Hopkins does it best. Mads Mikkelsen does a damn good job though.
I don't think in the Silence of the Lambs, I don't think Jodie Foster, I don't think anyone could ever play Clarice Starling like Jodie Foster did. And I'm a huge Jodie Foster fan all the way back to Taxi Driver. I mean, this lady, she was born to act. She was literally born to act. She was how old in Taxi Driver? Like 12, 13? Yeah. And she won Best Supporting Actress at that age. So,
and she'd already been acting for years before that too. So
she's been acting for years. They could not have picked a better person than Jodie Foster to play this role.
I agree.
You know what? She almost didn't get that role. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Jonathan Demme didn't want her on there. He didn't want her playing Clarice Starling, and not to piss on Boston, but he saw her in that movie, The Accused, and he didn't want her on there because he hated that thick Boston accent. So when she came in, she had to change like this, hard Southern accent.
I'm going to tell you, that's my second favorite Jodie Foster movie.
The Accused.
I think she was balls to the wall in that movie. Like you felt for everything that happened to her in that movie, and it was because of her acting. It wasn't because of what happened. It's because how she made you feel. And so she's like a once in a generational talent. And I've heard that she's very strict on what movies she picks. She just doesn't they don't just say, "Hey, Jodie, do this movie." She reads the part. She tries to say, "Am I this person in this film?" Like she was in Nell. Nell's another great one. She plays a great part in that one, and she's very selective on what she picks. And I wish more actors and actresses did that, because I think sometimes you have these guys who they just take any role just to make money. But Jodie Foster wants to be remembered as a great actress, so she picks great roles.
Yeah, she's never really been in a clunker, has she? Not that I recall.
No. Even Panic Room was a great one.
Yeah, I never saw that. Yeah.
Oh, you should. You got to see that. That's a great one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say she's never really been in a clunker, but I know there's been a couple of movies that have not been received well. I know she did a movie a number of years ago about. I feel as though it had a dolphin in it, but it had some sort of.
Oh yeah.
I remember she had glasses, and it didn't do very well, but it was a very niche sort of movie. I don't think it was a dolphin.
She was in a movie called Contact. It was really good.
Yeah,
I like Contact a lot. That movie is underrated or overrated now.
What's the one she did with her kid that's lost on the flight?
Oh shit!
I saw that twice, and it was really good, but it seemed like it was a little bit too long. Like, I don't mind this movie, Silence of the Lamb. I don't mind how long it is because it keeps you intrigued the whole time. But there's some movies that you have to know when to end, and I think that was one of them that I wished kind of was like 20 minutes.
Ended a little bit early.
It was called Flight Plan.
Yes. Flight Plan. Thank you, Mr. Doctor.
That's Dr. Poe. That's not Mr. Doctor. It's not. Yeah. No, I'm a doctor.
Not Dr. Feelgood.
I went through a 24-hour course for Malaysia Medical School online. Okay, go Sun Bears. All right.
Sun Bears.
What the fuck happened to the thing outside of Phoenix?
Hey, I wanted to.
That was a lie. I just got my doctorate. I lied before. I just got
it. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys, when you watched this movie, though, did you guys notice anything about the way they filmed it? It was like, you remember that movie that came out called 1917 a little while back? They filmed it like two long shots. It looked like one big long.
Yes.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that, and I didn't really pay attention to this. I wonder if you guys did, though, because it seems like you guys pay more attention to this than I do. But when they said, like, I read where Demi broke the fourth wall, the way he filmed this, because every frame was like geared to see from her perspective, Clarice's perspective.
Yeah.
So when you saw her, she was always at an angle. But when you were seeing other characters, they were looking right into the camera, like they were looking into her eyes.
Like the scene with when she first meets Hannibal. You
Yeah.
see a lot. You see a lot of him looking at her, but you don't see a lot of her looking at him.
Everything that was intercut in that scene, like, and I mean, it is the entirety of her walking up the stairs to the building, her sitting across from Chilton or looking at Chilton, or her meeting Barney.
There's a lot of great one shots in this movie.
Anytime she sees any of the other patients, they're either looking straight at her or it's that slanted angle of her observing the cell. And then it
Do you
just
think
kind
that
of
added to the movie, though? Did that like enhance it, like breaking the fourth wall? Does that make it a much better?
From the book's perspective, yes. From the book's perspective, because a lot of that descriptive is in there. The first time that Starling meets Hannibal the Cannibal, it describes, her walking down the hallways and the smells and the things that she was taking note of, and that was, what Crawford had told her to do, was take note of everything. What is this like? What is that like? The cell was much different in the book than it was in the movie, because in the book it was just kind of standard prison cells with a kind of a net, a thin enough net that you could see through, but not thick enough that anyone could grab or fit anything more than a finger.
Yeah.
So, it was different. It was some super, super strong net, but it was much different. And that doesn't really translate very well to a fucking movie. But they kind of had something similar to that in the original Manhunter movie, because it wasn't that, it was bars with glass. So it, similar, but not the same.
Well, one person we haven't mentioned yet is Ted Levine, who plays Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill, yeah.
Wow. What a contrasting characters between Hannibal Lecter and Buffalo Bill. But, man, Buffalo Bill made you feel so uneasy. Like the dancing and the pretending he's a transvestite, and the way he talks to Catherine Martin in the well, he makes you feel so uneasy.
Want to lotion on its skin or else it gets a hose with it. And that fucking voice, his voice sells it so much more than I think.
Place the lotion in the basket.
Yeah.
I feel like I dropped that line when I see it likes to put the lotion on. Anytime I see somebody grab a bottle of lotion, that's the first thing I say. It likes to put the lotion on.
There's a fucking song out there that is the entirety of that.
Cyrus, do you say this? Put the lotion in the basket.
Put the lotion in the basket.
I'll have to do that sometime to see if anybody picks up on it.
I did that in a CBS once. Some lady was getting lotion off the counter. I was like, put the lotion in the basket.
Well, she get the hose again. Oh my gosh. I fucking love Ted Levine's portrayal of Jane Gum.
Yes.
I think because, you know, it's such a difficult thing to fucking convey. The book describes it incredibly well, which allows your mind to do the things that it does. But some of the book is actually from James Gumm's perspective, from his perspective hunting, from his perspective in the shower, from his perspective at home and thinking of things he's going to do. And like his mindset is he's a woman. You know, he doesn't like touching his fucking penis. Like he'll use a mop to tuck it in. Like he doesn't like in the movie he just tucks it in, but in the book he would never fucking put his hand on his fucking jiggly jake.
And
because it was just psychopathic.
Hey, in that scene that we get introduced to him, does that scene scare the shit out of you guys still?
Fuck yeah.
When he's playing the guy who's pretending like he's
the fucking Ted Bundy business.
That scene scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, he's like
it is.
He's like Ed Gein meets Ted Bundy. He played that well, man.
That was something that fucking Ted Bundy often did was, you know, feign injury, had a cast in some instances, and would fucking, you know, oh, you know, I've got a flat tire. Can you help me out?
Yeah.
You know, and that was one of the scenes that was most unsettling for some because of how close it related to some of the shit that Bundy had done. And I think he said it was one of the most uncomfortable ones for him to film because it's actually one of the few and only scenes of him showing or exhibiting actual violence. Most of whatever's there is the actions, his aftermath of what's left in his wake, even Raspel, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, they showed more by showing less, I think, with the way they filmed that. And,
exactly.
They usually made it a slasher, but man, no need. I mean they left enough to the imagination to make it stick.
We talked earlier about how Scott Glenn probably got ripped off from Best Supporting Actor, but you could probably argue Ted Levine too. Ted Levine
should have. Yeah. I think that actually, you know, maybe as much, if not more, than Scott Glenn, just because of the character that he conveyed. Honestly, it may have been before its time because I don't know that the Academy was ready for some kind of crazy.
No, I don't think the Academy was ready at all.
I think they're covering it. You're holding your phone again.
Yep. But
you're blocking. You're blocking the view.
I can't see you, Rob. You got your member in front of the phone again. There you go.
So, what was
tuck it back in, Rob? Tuck it back in.
We've all had enough of the brain.
I'm trying to. It's too long.
Look, he just got out of the hospital. Okay, I'm monitoring him. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. Okay, picking on him.
I'm logged up.
I thought I got like, you know, deputized or some shit.
Oh well, you kind of did. You're not doing your job, so I mean.
Yeah, I just did.
Dr. Poe had to step out.
I got a ward behind me full of sick people, William. I mean, God.
I mean, come on now. Come on, doctor. Only a few of us here went to Malaysian online dental doctor school.
Oh, Lord.
I want Poe, I want you to stay in for the next.
Yes, for sure. Doctor, by the way.
So, Dr. Poe, besides the scenes that we've talked about, what scene sticks out to you in this movie?
Well, the scene that sticks out to me is whenever he pretty much opens up that security guard and puts him on the cage, which is very unsanitary, and he should know this being a doctor himself. And putting someone else's face on yours, that's just that's inviting all sorts of pathogens into your system. And I'm speaking from a medical perception, of course. But yeah,
that ain't legal either. That definitely ain't legal.
No, it's not legal by any means, but also unethical as a doctor. Speaking about a doctor, I mean, just messy. And plus, he's a psychologist. Why is he cutting up people? How did he get that knowledge? I don't know.
Yeah. Plastic surgeon too, right? I mean, who knew?
I know. I went through 24 hours of Malaysian medical school online. I should know. I mean, it's very, very disturbing.
He went to medical school in France.
Yeah, so for sure.
So, same question to you, William. Besides the scenes we've talked about, what scene sticks out to you the most?
The discovery of Frederica Bimmel. Whenever she goes out on that little fucking tiny ass mortuary and they fucking find his first victim who was the latest victim, and that shit is impactful. I mean, it's a tie with another one. I'll be honest with you. The whole fucking ending is great in and of itself, so it's tough to cut that down at one single scene. But I think like getting the first glimpse of like, holy shit, this dude's fucking insane in the membrane.
Very.
It was nuts, literally.
Cyrus, same question to you.
Yeah, I think the same scene that Grimm's talking about. But yeah, I did. The other part was, when he's in the ambulance and he takes the face off, he cut off that guy. Man, that was gross. But it was clever. I mean, I guess we know where John Travolta and Nick Cage got that idea from, right?
By the way, medically impossible to switch someone's face. I mean, everybody's got a different skull, a different set of teeth. I mean, it's just not medically possible. I want to point that out to the audience just in case they thought it was.
Why did no one bother to tell Madonna that?
I think for me, the scene that sticks out is the scene when Hannibal Lecter picks the lock, and when they're serving him lamb chops. He gets out and he eats the guy's face, and the other guy he slams against the. You actually see how sadistic this is. We always we perceive how sadistic he is through the whole movie, but now we get to actually visually see it, how sadistic he really is.
Yeah.
No, I dig that. I mean, it's tough to nail down just one. Yeah, honestly, because there's so much fucking good shit.
I agree.
The bit, with when he fucking attacked Catherine Martin and abducts her, that shit's insane. Precious and the well, her screaming and looking up and all the claw marks, the blood. I mean, there's so much in this movie. That whole end.
I think we talked about it earlier. We said that from start to finish, this movie has zero flaws. It really does.
It really does.
Seeing Buffalo Bill go nuts when she had his dog.
Yeah.
Another great.
They found something he cared about.
Don't make me hurt your dog. You don't know what pain is. It's fucking that whole end sequence is just amped up to 11. The interchanging camera angle of Calumet City and them going to knock on the door and it being a fucking empty house and Clarice by herself solo in there, fucking
all those walls.
Yeah, she makes that connection. Like that character is, they're adding fucking Laura Croft to Dead by Daylight and all that horse shit. They need to add motherfucking Clarice Starling. That is the fucking survivor in and of itself. I mean,
yeah, and I'll say that this is one of the few movies I've ever seen. This is one of the few movies I've ever seen that everybody has great interaction with each other.
Yeah.
Everybody is so with each other. What's the word I'm looking for? The chemistry between everybody in this movie is incredible.
It is. And you don't get the same thing with any other series. There's good elements here, good elements there for certain bits. I mean, if it wasn't directed by a fucking fiend in of itself, Red Dragon is a pretty damn good movie with its cast, fucking Ray Fiennes and Edward Norton, Anthony Hopkins. They're all fucking.
Yeah,
they're all
and
really good.
Hannibal was good too.
Yeah. I mean, this movie though, it captured something in a fucking bottle. It really did.
What hurt Hannibal is the fact that Jodie Foster didn't come back.
Yeah, no, I love Julianne Moore. I love her to death. She's a fantastic actress. She's one of my favorites of the last, X amount of years. But she was not Clarice Starling. She tried. She did good. She was a different interpretation. Maybe kind of somewhat like the character in the book, but even the character in the book, I think when reading Hannibal, I just read Jodie Foster. I didn't see anybody else. I didn't see anybody else's portrayal or representation. I didn't see anything else. It is. There's a fucking reason that her ass is on the cover.
Yeah.
There's a reason that Jodie Foster. Yeah, I mean, she is the movie. She has more screen time than any other bits. As much as it is about Hannibal Lecter or Buffalo Bill, it is a story about fucking Clarice becoming the badass she knew she could be, or whatever. I mean,
if we had to put a top 10 badass women, Clarice Starling would be up there.
This is a femme forward movie that they don't even know about. It's a super chick flick. She kicks some literal ass all by her fucking self.
Yeah, she's Ripley. She's Ripley with an FBI badge.
Yeah,
exactly.
Against this asshole with night vision, and I think there was a 357 in the movie, but it was a fucking bigger bastard in the book. It was 44, I think.
This is getting a little too excited. Rob, let me go ahead and put your chest to the. Okay. Okay. You're good. Just.
I sound like a pervert.
Sounds like one.
I'm a.
Maybe I'm Buffalo Bill. Maybe I'm the one that's cutting girls' dresses.
Hey, I'm a professional pervert too. Oh wait, never mind. That was
William.
I got the audio.
Too excited too. Let me see your. Yeah, put your chest to the. Hold on. Let me. God.
Okay, which one? Okay, there we go. Sorry. There might be children in this place.
You're good. Okay. I'm gonna check on the panel. Cyrus, I can do that over the. No. Okay.
No, I'm good, man. I'm the epitome of health. Just look at me.
Okay. Hey, look. I just make sure everybody's healthy. That's healthy.
Dr. Poe,
I thought I was the epitome of health.
Back with Tara show too. Those are some sick guys over there.
Making my rounds.
You better go check him. I think I heard the flat line.
Yeah.
What the fuck is tags coming out? Survive if I let you.
We got to talk about one more thing. So, what did you guys think of the ending scene with the phone call from
yes,
Hannibal?
Thank you. Somebody, fuck. The bad guy never wins, except in this case. It was fantastic. Like, it was enough to fucking spur on, about 12 fucking mentions at recent rallies and conventions. So always wants to have you for dinner. Well, he threw some fucking great house parties, so long as you weren't rude and an asshole, then go home, fucking have dinner and Hannibal Lecter.
No, I agree with you.
8 people, but they were all assholes.
William, I agree with you. I love the fact that the bad guy wins in this one.
Yes, I'm having an old friend for dinner.
You know,
Yeah,
because
you go get that
you always
children.
have those fairy tale endings where the good guy wins. But in reality, in real life, not always the good guy wins.
And you know, this movie is wonderfully balanced, I guess, that way in all the ways it is. It is a beginning to end roller coaster of love and flesh consumption.
Roller coaster.
That even though Clarice ends Buffalo Bill, Hannibal is still out there somewhere, and you know, is just too smart to be caught.
And do I
Dangerous.
dare say that Hannibal Lecter is a more scary villain than Buffalo Bill, just because
Oh, yeah.
he's so intellectual too.
Absolutely. He got. They caught him and he got out. That, you know, Bill got shot before he got caught. So, you know, even when they shot Lecter, his ass was too strong to die.
Yeah.
In the book, his escape was a little bit more like he had was it polydactyl? He has 6 digits on his right hand in the book. So that was the thing that made him stand out. In addition to his maroon eyes with flecks of gold that seem to sink to the centers of his pupils. That is something that has always stood out about me about the definition of Hannibal's eyes. And they kind of recreated it a little bit in the Hannibal movie poster, but you can't get that with Anthony Hopkins' Welsh blue eyes. But yeah, no, this character had his fucking just desserts at the end. Made me go out and buy a fucking white, big old flat fedora just because of, like, you know.
And I love the fact that Hannibal was infatuated with Clarice too. You could see that infatuation, even though she was a young student learning how to be the FBI agent. He was fascinated by her the first moment he saw her.
He gave her so little in the general scheme of things, and she discovered so much. So, like, he knew at an early stage that she was, I don't know, worthy.
She was ahead of her time.
Absolutely. And she was one of a kind. And I mean, honestly, if anyone has read the following books, some people did not like the ending of the book Hannibal. I liked the ending more than I liked the ending of the movie. It is vastly different. The way that they explain the character and the shit that she goes through in the movie, you can understand and see where the character would go in the ending, respective of the book. So, you know, I'm not going to give anything away if anybody has interest in reading Hannibal. They're actually all really good books. I love this movie. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. I still, as much of a horror as it is so much more. It is one of those movies like Seven that I have in a whole different sort of echelon of film, because they're not just horror, they're not just psychological, they're not just thrillers, they're not just, I mean, there's action, there's some comedy up in this business. You know, the teeny little bitty scene where Hannibal pulls the little fucking tray in when the guy's serving him and just whispers,
Yeah.
fucking gold! Everybody in the theater went, ha 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 ha. And,
the scenes when he's painting all those pictures of Clarice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, like it's so good. This movie is so good, and there is something also to be said about the character Hannibal Lecter and Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of him. That 6, 7, 8 minutes, whatever it actually is of screen time, and the 120-minute movie that it is, that Hannibal Lecter is on screen, earned him top 10 AFI's 100 top 10 villains. He's up there like number 2, number 3, behind Darth Vader. I think he's number 2. He's way up there. Way up there. I mean, Vader gets some shit done over the course of 3 movies, technically. But for 6 minutes to stand out that much at that little action sequences or whatever, you know, I mean, that's something. That is definitely something.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if they could ever remake this movie in any real capacity. They did the TV show. TV show was
if they ever
great.
remake this movie, I will boycott my ass off.
Yeah, you're not going to find another person that can play Hannibal.
No,
there are actors good enough in this day in this era to do that.
Well, and like the Hannibal TV show is good. But it is an entirely. I look at it. It is a lot more faithful to the source material than any of the movies are, because it has a lot more room to run. So they get to go through some of the characters that you barely get any glimpses of. God, what the hell was the first guy in the first one? The Shrike, the Baltimore, not the Baltimore Shrike.
Oh,
Illinois Shrike or whatever. No. There's that guy is actually a character all in and of himself throughout the set of books. He's in the first one, Red Dragon, and he's in the second one, but he obviously is dead at the end of Silence of the Lambs, both book and otherwise. His character was just so unbelievably slimy that you could not have any other person play him in both fucking movies. I don't care de-aging or not. You have to get that same asshole back to play him. They wrote him right on that second bit. They really did. Like, Chilton in that first one wasn't hardly much of anything, but in Manhunter. But yeah, no, they everybody, like we said earlier, there is not a character in this movie that is not some kind of badass, you know?
Yeah.
Even the senator.
Yeah, great film, man. This is probably ranks up there as one of the, I guess, all-time psychological thrillers in probably movie history.
It has.
Definitely. So I know this is probably a stupid question. So I need you in here too, Dr. Poe, please report.
Yes.
So I know this is a stupid question, but what do we rate this film, guys, from 1 to 5?
I give it a 4.5.
Okay. Poe?
My medical opinion, or do you want just a regular guy that wants this movie?
I want to hear from Mr. Aaron Poe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I rate it a 5, dude, for sure.
William, 5?
It is definitely a 5 with a nice Chianti and some fucking fava beans. You know, for real.
And I will rate it a 5 lamb chops.
It is as close to a perfect movie as there is. And
2 chops. Two chops up.
2 chops up with the mint jelly on the side.
There you go.
I can't not give it a 5 for all that it. I am never bored when I watch this movie, and it is a movie that when it is on, if I'm like watching it, especially if it's the beginning, I will watch it all the way through. I won't get up and fuck around and do nothing. I won't even push pause and go to piss in the bathroom. It's 2 hours that I lose.
Yeah, he'll just piss his pants.
Yeah, no, fuck yeah.
That's the kind of movie you put the adult diaper on before you hit play.
That's right.
Like going to the Golden Corral buffet, you got to suit up for that.
It don't depends anymore. It's a guarantee. I'm gonna launch my own line of adult briefs. Why depends when you can get a guarantee? I didn't even know that I'm going right now.
That's how I feel. Like fuck the bathroom. I just want to finish this movie.
Hey, I mean the fucking NASCAR guys get to do it.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm with you. It is a long movie, but that was 2 hours back in the day. Luckily, it ain't some shit like we got now with a 3.5 hour, 4 hour fucking runtime.
I know.
But it's definitely it is an incredible movie that should not ever be fucking remade. And shame on anyone if they have the balls and gumption to try. I would have never assumed the same about
I'm sure
Time
Bill
Bandits.
Skarsgård is trying to get it done.
Right? It'll be sooner than later. Sooner than later, motherfucker will be
Bill
in there.
Skarsgård will play Buffalo Bill.
You don't think they put him in there as Hannibal?
No, I don't think he's old enough. You know who
By
they should do?
By the time they get the balls to remake it, it might be.
I'm sure Nicolas Cage will try to do it though.
You know what? He might. I want to see that long legs. I've seen a little like bit of the lower face of him and that, and it looks fucking interesting. So I do want to see it. He's had a couple of fucking pretty good ones recently. Man. Pig was good.
Yeah, Renfield
was good. Makes me want more fucking Nicolas Cage Dracula.
I'll tell you what. I touched on Nicolas Cage a lot, but he was a great Dracula. I will say that.
He ought to end up fucking climbing up on some of them the vampire charts in the near future. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
If they ever did remake Bram Stoker's Dracula, they need to get Nick Cage.
Oh shit! I mean, that's the beautiful thing, I guess, about that book is they don't even have to remake it. They can just, hey, this is new, Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's in that public domain, so anybody can fucking. We can go out and fucking make a Dracula. You know what? Nicolas Cage, come on, motherfucker.
Poe, you need to let Aaron know we're gonna make a new Dracula movie.
Yep. And we're gonna get Nicolas Cage. He's gonna be our Dracula, and we'll get fucking Elijah Wood to be Renfield.
Oh, that's a good casting movie.
And you know what's interesting? Speaking of Elijah Wood, and I mean, we'll save the entirety of it for another day, but they canceled that fucking Toxic Avenger movie. Thank God.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Nobody wants to fucking pick it up.
Good.
So Elijah Wood's gonna need to work.
Yeah, sure.
That Frodo money right up. Yeah.
Real fast.
Okay, so I think we've come to the part where we do promoting. I know, Cyrus, I know you just had a Gonzo Chronicles. Any audio ones coming soon?
Yeah, I'm going to record another one tomorrow and get a Gonzo up for the podcast. Last night we had a great discussion. We had talked about the top 10 vampire movies of all time versus what the actual top 10 grossing movies at the box office were.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are like terrible compared to real good vampire movies. So anyway, that's on Dogged Up Media now. So if you're watching, jump over and check that out. And what we missed? What vampire flicks we missed? So, and I swear to God, if you say anything about Twilight being great, I'm gonna rip you a new ass in the comments. Just gonna give you a heads up right now. I'll take the gloves off. I'm a nice guy most of the time. I'll take the gloves off. Twilight's great.
I'm going to put Dr. Poe on notice here. Dr. Poe, what happened to that episode with the hair bands?
It'll
Mental health will drive you mad. Bangs your head.
William, are you doing any shows for our network yet?
I am not right now. I need to get my happy ass off of my ass and get a few things doing. I had my kiddo here the past couple of weeks, so I've been doing that and working on the seats on which had some car trouble. But I've gotten back into my vehicle, so I'm back on the grind, making the moolah. My kiddo's hanging out.
Could we see a new episode of Poe and Grimm?
I know we had talked about a anniversary sort of thing coming up in the near future.
We talked about something in October. Since we started the show around that time, we got a lot of horror themed stuff going on. But I think it would be fun to do a couple episodes every episode. You know what I mean? Because William has a good idea for a show. I want him to have his own thing. But Poe and Grimm will be back in October. So look out for that.
I'm going to try and now I'm starting to get a few more bits together. I got a good pair of cans on my fucking head, and if I would have found my fucking stand. I had a decent little podcast stand, so I'm hoping to get something set up in the very near future there is definitely some shit that I've got on my brain that's grinding my gears and has gotten grim out there. And a few things not so bad. Got to talk about them. We're fucking Beetlejuice. So yes, there should be something coming by. I'm hoping maybe it's a birthday surprise for me in the early August. So maybe we can roll August off to a good start.
And Poe, do we have anything like Backwoods or any Poe Hub or?
We got morning show for Sunday. Good morning, Dog Nut. This Sunday morning. And the game show, You Don't Know Shit, will be premiering next Monday. So definitely check that out. Steve has been working hard, doing testing. I think there's another test this Sunday evening. So he's getting ready, and it's an idea. So if anybody wants to be a contestant, first come, first serve. It's a Jeopardy type thing. It's a fucking blast. Definitely check it out.
Nice.
I'll be there. I'll be there, man.
Over on my end, I'm starting to promote on a new movie called Relentless. I think I sent you a poster of it.
Hold on. I got it.
And if you could scroll the link on the bottom, if you could. So, Relentless, I don't know much about it just yet, but I did check out the Indiegogo. It looks pretty legit. It's going to be co-starring Bill Oberst Jr. So, anybody who's a Bill Oberst Jr. fan, this is the movie to get involved in. They just started their crowdfunder. They're at 5% right now. Directed by Jonathan Younger. And so I'm going to be working close with Jonathan in the next few weeks. So look out for this movie coming soon. For this show, for Mahoney's Madhouse, the next episode will be drum roll. Do you have a drum roll in there?
No, I have this.
Okay, that works. Revenge of the Nerds is our next episode. So, as far as everything else goes, we have other new shows coming. We have Steve Z doing his Vortex radio show. Steve Z and Murray just joined the Backwoods Horrors. Our competitors. We love those guys in Backwoods, but we like to fuck with them. Right, Cyrus?
Oh, yeah. It's always kind of fun to kind of poke at them a minute. So.
You've got to take a shit on the competition, otherwise they won't fucking know where their fucking place is.
Hey, man, we're just having a little fun.
Yeah, friendly
fire. Just sending some, brown paper bags lit on fire to people's doorsteps. What they do is their business.
Oh, and by the way, on the next episode, Travis is going to wear a bra for everyone.
Yeah.
Topless with the bra.
Yeah, I think I heard Cody saying, "We love you long time. Be sucky."
Me so horny. Oh, me so horny. Me so horny. Me love you long time.
We love you long time.
You got them started.
Two Live Crew didn't know they were getting a shout out in this day and age.
Oh yeah, they did use that. They did use that sample.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not to get off on the television. Shit, man, thank you for having me on there. It's been a fucking blast.
Does anybody else have anything to say?
No, I'm good.
Right.
Shit. Thanks for having me on. I've had a blast and I've chatting about one of my favorites.
You're always welcome, William.
Hell yeah, dude. It'll be my pleasure to be on again.
Okay, like they used to say on Dating Game, but not Dating Game. What was that show? We'll see you in 2 and 2.
2 and 2. Later.